This afternoon's Intercounty Baseball League game features the visiting London Majors and your Barrie Baycats. Here are today's starting lineups. First for the London Majors, managed by Shepard. Batting first, the center fielder, number 28, Austin Wilkie. Batting second, the shortstop, number 12, Keith Handel. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 35, Cleveland Brown-Lee. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 25, Robert Mullen. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 7, Starling Joseph. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 14, Drew Lawrence. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 19, Gibson Kurzminski. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 97, Wilk. Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 6, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, put your hands together. Here's the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Matlow. Batting first, the center fielder, number 95, Noel Goyle. Batting second, the third baseman, number 15, Brendan Collins. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 28, Malik Williams. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 25, Juan Familia. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 8, Frankie Infante. Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 14, Owen Janssen. And batting ninth, the catcher, number 44, Tyler Plumpton. Pitching this afternoon for your Baycats, number 51, Adam Kahn. Fans, we ask that you please rise if you are able to. Kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Live from the Barrie Community Sports Complex in Springwater Township, Inter-County Baseball on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. This afternoon, Inter-County Baseball as the London Majors visit the Barrie Baycats. Hello again, everybody, and a very happy, if not sweltering, Saturday afternoon to you, wherever you may be enjoying it. With Patrick Melbourne, I'm Ben Davey. Kendra Doyle on assignment this afternoon. The defending IBL champions are in town. Last year, the Majors won their first title since 1975. They came to Barrie on May 28th, slaughtered the Baycats 12-2, but the Baycats offense exploded when they went to London on Sunday last weekend. So, Patrick, it's a 1-1 season series between these clubs heading into this one here today.
And it was the power that was the difference for the Baycats when they went to London. They got 3 different home runs, one from Carson Burns, one from Owen Janssen, who also had a home run in the last game here, and one from Malik Williams. So we'll see if that power shows up again. There were 4 home runs in that game last time out in Vintage Throne Stadium for the Baycats. So the power seems to be rolling. We'll see if it continues on. It'll be Adam Kahn on the mound for the second time in a row against these Majors. So we'll see what he's learned from that first time, and we'll see how smoothly it goes here in a very hot day.
Let's take a look at the
You mentioned it, but it is very hot.
No question. Let's take a look at the Majors starting lineup under veteran manager Roop Chanderdad. Austin Wilkie, the leadoff man in center field. Keith Candela, the shortstop, batting second. DH Cleveland Brownlee, having a season for the ages. We'll talk more about him in a moment. He's batting third. Robert Mullen, having an outstanding season behind the plate. He's the cleanup man. Starling Joseph is in right field, batting fifth. Drew Lawrence in left field, bats sixth. Gibson Kurzminski, the first baseman, bats seventh. Kieran Bowles, the third baseman, batting eighth. And the number 9 hitter is second baseman Chris Mcqueen.
On the mound for the Barrie Baycats, it'll be right-hander Adam Kahn, who has really done a nice job for the Baycats since joining the rotation on a consistent basis. So this is his 7th game total. You can see there, 4th start of the season for Adam. He's 0-1 so far on the earth, 3.78 ERA, 16 strikeouts, that's good, 7 walks. That's okay. It's a little bit higher than maybe he'd like it, but still well below the strikeouts in 16 2/3 innings. So he'll look to get that 3.78 ERA down even more against a tough London lineup.
Home plate umpire is Ryan Jackson. Isaac Zivchuk behind the bag at first. Third base umpire tonight is Ben Rosen. And the top of the first brought to you by Starting Lineup Uniforms and Apparel, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. Your season starts here. Austin Wilkie takes a couple of swings as right-hander Adam Kahn looks in for the sign to get the first pitch of the ball game rolling here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Very hot. The umbrella's out today, but for the reason we like, just to create a little bit of shade in the stands today. No sign of rain at all. Beautiful sunny sky as Kahn winds. First offering, and first pitch swinging is Wilkie. Hits this one over to the right of first base, and the catch is made by Malik Williams. 1 out. Let's look at the defense for the Majors.
All right, let's do it. Defense for
Baycats.
the Barrie Baycats. Yeah, let's do the Baycats first since they're out there. Left, right in the outfield, Bramfield Fontes in left, Noel McGarry Doyle is in center. Juan Familia is back in right. He had a home run in his first game with the Baycats last game. Brendan Colley at third, Carson Burns at shortstop. Owen Janssen is the second baseman. He's been looking better out there lately. Really, really high confidence. And he's been playing really well. And then Malik Williams at first base. Behind the plate is Tyler Plumpton after James Anderson caught the last one. Plumpton out for this one with Adam Kahn on the mound.
4:08, our first pitch this afternoon. We'll give you the weather details in a moment.
It's hot. Spoiler alert.
Needless to say, Kahn's first pitch from the stretch to Keith Candela is a called strike. Candela hitting .316 this year. 2 homers, 8 RBIs.
We're mentioning the heat so much because not only will it have an on-field impact, but everybody here at the ballpark can feel it is very, very hot.
Everyone's staying shaded and hydrated. Swing and a miss. Kahn quickly ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Patrick, you mentioned the 14-8 Baycat win in London on Sunday afternoon. Kahn worked that game. That was his last appearance. 4 1/3.
And he did a good job in that game. Baycats pitching as a whole was pretty good in that one.
Pitch from Kahn. Just missed outside. The count is 1-2. 7 hits over 4 1/3. 4 strikeouts, no walks, and a no decision, getting only 4 1/3 in on that start, despite the Baycat win.
So today, with a little bit more familiarity with both the pitcher and the batter side, we'll see how it goes.
Pitch from Kahn. High fastball, and it's 2-2.
And the one thing where the heat can be a factor on the field early on in a game like this is it can increase your grip of the ball, or decrease your grip of the ball just a little bit.
Pitch from Kahn, and it's a high pop foul. Over to our right.
And the ball can end up
And a
slipping
great
out of your hand.
catch by a kid behind the trees. Saw that all the way, Patrick, over on the other side of the fence. He knew exactly where that ball was going to land, and it landed right in his glove. Now there's something you don't see often, is a clean catch on the other side of the fence.
Future Barrie Baycat.
I can't actually recall seeing that yet this year. He knew exactly where to be. You see lots of kids running for the bouncers and the rollers on the other side of the fence, but that was a clean catch all the way.
Something you mentioned, by the way, as we were getting ready to broadcast this game, is the wind's coming in from a bit of an odd direction. It's kind of coming in from the left. And it's moving left and right. It's kind of going from all directions depending on the time.
One hopper to Carson Burns. That's an easy play. 2 down. As we take a look at those weather details, and it's hot, it's muggy, and the wind is, as you mentioned, from the east, which is not typical here in Springwater Township, north of Barrie. Usually the wind comes in from the west, but today we've got a easterly wind, and it's blowing slightly in. And the temperature today is 30 degrees. It's 34 with the Humidex. A little bit of clouds to the right field side, but nothing that's going to bring any rain at all this afternoon. Hopefully a little bit of shade, but that will be it. It's a hot scorcher here. And another foul ball, this one over our heads again. 2 out here on the top of the first. London Majors and Barrie Baycats for the third of 6 regular season matchups this year.
First inning, by the way, brought to you by Starting Lineup Uniforms and Apparel, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. Your season starts here.
I was thinking on Thursday about the condition of the grass. If we don't get some rain soon, you're going to start to see it turn a little bit brown. You can see some sections out there now where, you know, it's not quite as green as it was 3-4 weeks ago when we were getting all that rain.
It feels like rain is coming a little bit more, doesn't it? Like, it always starts with hot, humid days like this, and then it kind of turns into rain.
Well, amazingly, we've had rain, but we have not had a rain out or a weather-related delay at home this season. And that one hits Cleveland Brownlee, and he goes to first. That's the hard way to get aboard, but the Majors get their first base runner of the afternoon.
Just to talk about Cleveland Brownlee for a moment, he has been having a tremendous season, hitting .453 at the moment. Added another home run last night against Whelan in that 17-5 London win against the Jackfish. He has 8 home runs on the year now, Ben. That is enough to lead the IBL, right above his teammate Robert Mullen.
London Majors veteran. He's been around this league a long time and having perhaps his best season this year. Certainly the first half. He's been on a tear among the IBL leaders.
And he's a leader in the clubhouse too, because he's listed as a coach, and a lot of the guys look up to him, I believe. So just a really good guy for the IBL to still have in this league and for the Majors to still have on their team.
Here's another guy having an outstanding season, Robert Mullen. .458 is his average. That's best in the IBL. You're going to see a lot of offensive category leaders in this London lineup today. High fastball makes it 1-1. He's got 7 home runs and 20 runs batted in.
And hitting .458. It's not an easy lineup to pitch to. And that makes it more impressive that Adam Kahn got through it without walking anybody and did a good job last time out.
Brownlee at first, 2 out. Pitch hit on the ground, foul over near the London dugout, and the count holds at 1-2. If you're just joining us, Wilkie with a pop-up. Keith Candela with a ground out to short, and Cleveland Brownlee hit by a pitch. He's aboard with 2 out here on the top of the first inning. Starling Joseph, the right fielder, on deck. Kahn trying to end it here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Here's the pitch. Outside, and the count is even 2-2. Malik Williams at first base, holding on Cleveland Brownlee. Not really a threat to steal. He's a big man.
Tyler Plumpton behind the plate after getting the day off a couple of nights ago in that Thursday game.
And the pitch. Missed low and in, and the count is full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Baycats actually added another catcher to the roster today, earlier today. Dylan Shepard has joined the team as a catcher. First year in the IBL for Dylan.
James Anderson caught one. Benitez here on Thursday night. Runner bluffs to start. Now he goes 3-2 with 2 outs, so that's why Brownlee's on the move. This one popped up, and it's in shallow left field. Hangs up there a long time, and Brant Infante, who's starting in left field today, runs in and makes the catch for the out. That will do it for the Majors in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of inning number 1. Majors nothing, Baycats coming to bat. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared. With Patrick Melbourne, I'm Ben Davey. Bottom of the first inning. Let's look at the lineup for Josh Matlow's Barrie Baycats this afternoon. Noel McGarry-Doyle leads it off in center field. Brendan Colley at third base bats second. Ryan Rio, the DH, bats third. Malik Williams, the cleanup spot, and second base today. Juan Familia in right field, batting fifth. Brant Infante in left field, bats sixth. Carson Burns at short, bats seventh. Owen Janssen at second, batting eighth. And Tyler Plumpton behind the plate, batting ninth.
On the mound, left-hander Pedro de los Santos. This is his sixth game of the season, fourth start. Hasn't been going as well this season for Pedro de los Santos as it did last season, where he was essentially the pitcher of the year in the IBL.
On the ground and through into left field for a base hit. Let's look at the defense for the Majors behind Pedro this afternoon.
Left to right in the outfield, it'll be Drew Lawrence in left, Austin Wilkie in center, Starling Joseph in right. And then at third base, Kieran Bowles, shortstop Keith Candela, second baseman is Chris Mcqueen, and then Gibson Kurzminski is at first behind the plate, Robert Mullen for Pedro de los Santos.
And I just realized when I read the starting lineup, I gave you 2 second basemen, and there are not 2 second basemen today. Malik Williams is at first base, Owen Janssen at second, so if you're filling out the scorecard at home.
And we are expecting some changes within the next couple innings because Jake Wilson will be entering this game shortly.
So Williams, the lead McGarry-Doyle, the lead at first, and he draws the throw from Pedro de los Santos.
Just finishing my point on de los Santos, it hasn't gone quite as well for him this season as it did last season. The walks are up a little bit, 11 walks in only the 5 games. 18 strikeouts, but the big thing is just focusing on what's coming in. He's giving up a batting average against over 300, couple of walks, hits per innings pitched. So there are going to be opportunities against Pedro de los Santos. He'll be looking to return to that 2021 form where he was the best pitcher in the league. And if he can get back to that, you look at that 1-2 for London in the rotation. Owen Boone, who pitched yesterday, went 7 innings, did not give up a run to the Whelan Jackfish.
Swing and a miss. Off goes the helmet. Big rip by Brendan Colley. Couldn't connect, and it's 2-2. De Los Santos, Dominican-born, pitched in the DR before joining the Toronto Maple Leafs when he came to the IBL in 2017. Was a Leaf from 17 to 19, and then came aboard the London Major squad last year. Runner goes, pitch is low. Here's the throw down. McGarry Doyle with the slide, and he is, no call there from the umpire. He's safe.
Yeah, no, bit of a...
There was no call from the first base umpire.
Are they calling him out?
Not sure why first base ump Isaac Zivchuk did not make a call, and now he does. So Zivchuk went down to talk to Ryan Jackson. I'm not sure why.
And that is a very late call from the first base umpire.
And
normally, when you don't see a call, you assume he's safe.
Josh Matlow, no surprise, out for an explanation from Ryan Jackson.
Normally, when you don't see a call out there and you just wait for the game to resume, you assume he's safe. And with McGarry Doyle's speed, he's been safe a lot more than he's been out on stolen base attempts this season. It did look, to my eye, and I'm not at a great angle, to be honest, but it did look like it was going to be very, very close at second base. It looked like you...
Why that happened there, but in any event, McGarry Doyle is caught stealing, and a swing and a miss by Brendan Colley. 2 outs for Pedro De Los Santos here, and that brings up DH Ryan Rio.
The designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio.
De Los Santos had a 7-2 record in his first year with the London Majors in 2021. That was last season with a 2.19 ERA, among the IBL leaders.
It was
in
the
pitching
IBL
categories.
leader among qualified
right across
pitchers.
the board, 57 strikeouts. You can go through pretty much all the pitching stats, and he was either on the top of the list or near it.
Has yet to regain that consistency that he had for last season this year.
Rio takes a fastball. The count is 1 ball, 1 strike.
Nice pitch to Ryan Rio up there. Had some good velocity on it, up and in.
De Los Santos turned 33 years old a couple of weeks ago.
That was a big strike.
Rio steps out, has another word or two with the home plate umpire before he steps back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The wind and the pitch bounces up to the plate. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. We're in the bottom of the first. Base is empty for Ryan Rio. Here's the pitch. On the ground, foul. And the count will hold.
It's always tough when you're at the plate and the pitch kind of just drops from where it looks like it's going to be. That's what happened there. It's coming in from a tough lefty-lefty angle, and then it's way lower than you thought it would be. So he was lucky to just get a piece of that on a 2-2 count.
Full windup from De Los Santos with the 2-2 swing and a miss. Rio goes down. Baycats retired in the bottom of the first. Through an inning, we're scoreless at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared. And more. BarrieToday.com, your community, your news. Adam Kahn on the mound today for the Barrie Baycats. First pitch, Joseph fouls it over our heads. Joseph hitting .306 coming into today. 4 homers, 14 RBIs. Righty-righty matchup here as Joseph waggles the bat. From the stretch, the pitch on the way from Kahn. It's outside 1-1. Just one hit in the ball game so far. Noel McGarry-Doyle. He was caught stealing on a controversial call at second base. Swing and a miss. 1-2 to Starling Joseph.
Still working on names?
I got one last name.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Is it 2 I's? Minsky?
Right-hander Adam Kahn with the 1-2 pitch on the way. On the ground to third. Handled cleanly by Cawley. Long throw, and it's not in time. It gets past the first baseman, and going to second is Joseph. As Malik Williams is back to pick it up, and he's going to go for third now. Here's the throw, head first slide. He stays on the bag, and he's safe in a cloud of dirt. Great base running by Starling Joseph.
Fantastic base running. I mean, he saw that ball go by, and then he did not hesitate one bit, going from first to third.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 14, Drew Lawrence.
They're going to call it a hit.
Not a great throw by Cawley, but he wouldn't have had the runner, so Joseph gets to third on the error. So it's the first hit of the game for the Majors, and Starling Joseph is Coming over, Infante makes the catch. Runner tags. Throw from Infante. Bounces up to the plate. The tag, and he is out at the plate. What a throw from Branfi Infante, and the tag applied by Plumpton for the out. 2 down in the inning.
I mean, they could not have timed that any better, could they? Tyler Plumpton got it right in front of home plate, and what looked like it would be a hard play ended up just happening right in front of our eyes.
Gibson Kurzminski.
And Starling with nobody on.
And Branfi Infante, who hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam on Thursday, with a great defensive play right there.
Kurzminski bunts. Kahn with a throw. No chance. Good job there by Williams, who came off the bag. Even with a good throw, I don't think Kahn would have had him.
No,
that was just
he
a
would not have.
well-placed bunt by Gibson Kurzminski. Second hit for London in this ball game.
Third baseman, number 97, Kieran Bowles.
Kieran Bowles kicks the dirt around and looks down to the third base coach. Runner at first with 2 out here in the second inning. Kahn's pitch. Fastball outside corner for a strike. Nice crowd here this afternoon at Vintage Throne Stadium to see the defending IBL champions. Always a good rivalry between Barrie and London.
In 3 games now between Barrie and London, Barrie has seen 3 different pitchers. Just looking back here, this is still only the second pitcher that London has faced, with Adam Kahn going last week and now tonight. Juan Benitez was the other pitcher they saw. Baycats have seen Jose Arias, Owen Boone, and now Pedro de los Santos.
And that one hit Bowles. I think he's saying it hit him. The umpire's saying it didn't. And we got another controversial call here. Bowles tossed the bat away.
It did look kind of like just a ball to me, but I wasn't able to see the angle I think that I would have needed to see there.
He said it hit him, or he was trying to sell it, but either way, the at-bat's going to continue. And a heads-up decision by Gibson Kurzminski to not come off the bag at first, because if he had to come off, all of a sudden he's a vulnerable base runner.
That's a very good point, and it didn't sound like it hit him, did it?
Now there's a conference as the umpires converge just to make sure they got this call right, and they're going to determine they did. So no reversal here, but Ryan Jackson caucusing with Ivan Zivchuk and Ben Rosen just to make sure that that was the right call made, and they're going to continue this at bat here at 1 ball and 1 strike. Called strike 2.
It's been a big strike zone so far today.
Wouldn't it be interesting if Kurzminski saw Bowles coming to first and then started trotting down to second? All of a sudden, he's in a position where he can be picked off. Smart move to stay on the bag until the umpire made the definitive call. 1-2, swing and a miss. So it's all of no consequence anyways. Down on strikes is Bowles, and that will do it for London. So they get 2 hits, a runner thrown out at home plate, and that will do it for London in the top of the second. We're still scoreless at Vintage Throne Stadium, watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Baycats, the first baseman, number 28, Malik Williams.
Yes, it.
Fans, all Saturday afternoon home games that start at 4 p.m. this season are Junior Baycats Days with the support and partnership of Rock 95, Cool FM, Barrie 360, Moonwalk Entertainment, and Dream Parties. Family fun will be taken to a whole new level. Just a couple more of those as we progress through the season. This is one of them.
A lot of kids here at the ballpark on this Saturday afternoon. Final weekend of the school year as the kids get out of school next week. A couple more days to go for most of the kids. And we're going to start seeing some bigger weeknight crowds, I'm sure, once the summer break starts. Malik Williams brings his 300 average to the plate.
300 with 360 on base average. A 550 slugging.
Hit his first IBL home run in the London game, I believe.
You are correct.
7 RBIs so far in just 5 games.
And that's a clip you can view on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Barrie Baycats on Instagram, at IBL Baycats on Twitter, Barrie Baycats on Facebook.
We got Branfy's Grand Slam on the social media feeds as well. That's certainly a must-watch. Branfy Infante hitting the first Grand Slam of 2022 for Barrie. It's 3-2 here to Malik Williams. He's at first base this afternoon. As Patrick mentioned, we're expecting Jake Wilson to come into the game at some point, and that'll make some defensive shifts as Malik takes a rip and a miss, strike 3. Third strikeout, 3 straight for Pedro de los Santos.
We'll keep you updated on any defensive changes, but the most likely scenario is that McGarry Doyle moves to left, Wilson moves to center, Infante moves to third. That's the way the lineup was on Thursday.
Ryan Rio in as the DH today.
Juan Familia stepping in. He only had the 1 hit in his debut, but what a hit it was. It was a big home run.
3 RBIs in his first game, and he hits a high pop-up. This should stay playable. Off of the mask is Mullen. On the grass, near the circle, makes the catch. 2 quick outs for the Baycats in the bottom of the second. Pedro de los Santos has faced the minimum through 5 at-bats here. Noel McGarry Doyle with a hit, but caught stealing. Baycats with just 1 hit off the Dominican left-hander early in this ball game. And here's the man we were just referencing, Branfy Infante, tearing it up now.
An amazing defensive assist in that last half inning, and then 2 home runs, including a grand slam to bring in 5 RBI on Thursday.
Yeah, he's been doing just about everything over the last couple of weeks. He's got the average up to 320. 2 homers now, 6 RBIs, pitches a ball, 1-0.
Infante hitting 320 on the season, 452 on base average, 640 slugging.
This is still just his 9th game, so his contributions are only going to become more significant as he continues to see regular action for the Baycats through the summer. 1-1 to the left fielder. He hits this on the ground. Third baseman is Gibson Kurzminski. Tried to backhand it, couldn't do so cleanly. And aboard is Infante for the second base runner of the day for the Baycats.
And that will be scored an error.
The shortstop, number 3, Carson Burr.
So 2 base runners for the Baycats, 1 hit, and that's the first error for London. Baycats and Majors each with an error, and it's 2 outs now for Carson Burns. Couldn't hold the swing, and it's 0-1. Burns now 274 with a homer and 8 RBIs. 2 out here in the second inning. And a strike, 1-1. There goes the runner. And no throw down. Carson Burns takes second uncontested. Or Branfy Infante, excuse me, with Burns at the plate. So Infante at second. And a 1-2 count to Carson Burns. Mullen didn't even attempt to throw. To short. To Hopper, and it bounces off of Keith Candela. Goes over to grab it. Everybody is safe.
So I'll tell you why that stolen base was important on that play. Not only did it remove the chance of the double play, it also brought Infante right into that path of Keith Candela at shortstop and made it a lot harder for him to make that play. Ended up not making that play, but that's two big reasons that stolen base was important. Just going back to that conversation we were having in the last game with the amount of stolen bases in this league this year, Whelan obviously with the most, but you're seeing stolen bases go up across the league in general, and that's one of the big reasons why it helps you in a number of ways on the base paths.
Roop came out for a visit with the infielders to talk to the battery of Mullen and De Los Santos, two out here in the second inning. Runners on the corners now. An error has been charged to Keith Candela. Bit of a tricky hop, but he misplayed it and would have had the out if he had fielded it cleanly and got the throw over. So 2 hours for London in the inning.
Alongside Brantfee Infante, I don't think anybody's been seeing the ball quite as well as Owen Janssen in these last few games. Has 2 homers in his last 3 games.
And a big at bat for Jansen here with runners on the corners.
Jansen's average up to 282. Has a 487 slugging percentage now. I was talking to him after that game, and he was just saying that the confidence is up and that he's starting to get more and more locked into at-bats.
And into second is Carson Burns. Again, no attempted throw by Robert Mullen with the runner Infante at third. 2 out in the inning. And Mullen electing to take no chances, so Burns gets to second. First base open for Jansen now. Catcher Tyler Plumpton on deck.
Feels like the Baycats are starting to take advantage of stolen base opportunities.
Here's the pitch from De Los Santos, and it's fouled off at home plate. 1-2. Big at bat in this ball game. Still early, but this has a bit of a low-scoring feel to it today with a couple of pitchers that are pretty solid out there on the mound so far.
It really is
base runners.
Notable that Adam Kahn has turned into that guy for the Baycats, where he goes out and has just been consistent. It's his first year in the IBL. Younger pitcher from Innisfil.
Called strike 3, and De Los Santos sprints off the mound. And that does it for Barrie as Jansen is frozen on the strikeout. 4th strikeout of the game for Pedro De Los Santos. We're through 2 at Vintage Throne Stadium. We are scoreless on Baycats TV and Rogers TV.
For the Baycats.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared. With Patrick Melbourne, I'm Ben Beebe. We have a scoreless tie between the London Majors and the Barrie Baycats. Adam Kahn versus Pedro De Los Santos. If you're just joining us, base runners every half inning so far, but Nobody has scored yet, and we've had some real interesting plays on the bases so far in this one. Number 9 hitter Chris Mcqueen will lead it off. Our third inning is brought to you by First Aid Canada, your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Chris Mcqueen hitting .217, no homers, 6 RBIs. Majors with no runs, 2 hits. Baycats, no runs, 1 hit. 4 errors in the game already, 2 for each side. Majors have stranded 2. Baycats have stranded 2 as well. On the ground, second base. To Hopper, Owen Janssen to first for the out, 1 away. A lot of sweaty T-shirts around the ballpark this afternoon, Patrick, and we were talking off mic about this. It's 30 degrees, 34 with the Humidex right now. I mean, we shouldn't be complaining. We're playing baseball, but this is not the most comfortable summer afternoon.
It's very hot, and the players are going to be thinking about that too because they're wearing jerseys. But
what would be your ideal baseball temperature outdoors watching a game? What's that target number for you?
20. No humidity?
Pretty much room temperature.
Yeah, pretty much.
See, I like 15.
Okay, a little
I like
cooler.
nice, cool. You can wear a hoodie, light coat if you want.
The thing is, when it gets cooler here at Vintage Throne Stadium, is the bugs come out.
Yeah.
And
well, my 15 would be a day game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want the cool temperatures of the evening, but during the day.
I like the bright sunny sky. I just don't want to sweat underneath it. Is that too much to ask?
Yep. Apparently.
Here we are complaining, and we have a beautiful summer day. No rainouts, not a single weather delay this year. Viewers at home are saying, would you guys shut up? You're at the ballpark.
Yeah, but they're at home and aren't feeling that. So, you know.
With air conditioners on and fans running.
Yeah, hopefully anyway.
Well, like I said earlier, there are umbrellas here, but they're for the good reason.
It's top of the order. Austin Wilkie coming up for the second time today, and it's a different look when you're facing a pitcher for the second time.
Count 3 balls and a strike. Con has not issued a walk yet. Another thing you'll notice with those umbrellas, the fans here in Barrie are very courteous. Anyone with an umbrella is at the top row of the bleachers here, just to make sure they're not blocking anybody's view. Nothing worse than sitting behind somebody with an umbrella at a baseball game. Right field side, well foul. Hit the top of one of those tents over near the Barrie bullpen. There's somebody wearing a Kelly Gruber jersey with an ice-cold blue Gatorade and a nice hat.
Just about everybody has a cool drink or treat.
Swing and a miss. Adam Kahn with a strikeout, 2 down here in the third.
Second strikeout of the day for Kahn.
The shortstop, number 12, Keith Candela.
Well, we know this London team can hit, and what a job Adam Kahn has done here. Going into the third inning now, a couple of strikeouts. Only 2 London hits so far, and he's kept them off the board, most importantly.
Keith Candela has really had a nice season so far, and it's been rewarded with him coming up in the batting order. He actually batted 9th in the game we saw the London Majors here earlier in the season in Barrie. Hit a home run in the 7th inning, and today he's batting 2nd.
On the ground, second base. Gloved cleanly by Jansen. The throw over in plenty of time. And the London Majors go 3 up, 3 down for the first time this afternoon. We've played 2.5. Scoreless tie here at Vintage Throne Stadium between the Majors and the Baycats. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Bottom of the third, a scoreless tie here at Vintage Throne Stadium between the Baycats and the Majors with Patrick Milborn. I'm Ben Davey. And Evie is our Rock 95 Junior Baycat announcer for the bottom of the third. We'll enjoy her announcing the Baycats as they come to bat. Tyler Plumpton, Noel McGarry-Doyle, and Brendan Colley. Plumpton, the catcher, to lead it off against Pedro de los Santos.
Plumpton leads the team right now in batting average, 371 with a 436 on base average, so a very strong bottom of the order hitter for the Baycats this season.
Wanted to mention that Baycats manager Josh Matlow has been out to talk to home plate umpire Ryan Jackson 3 times since the ball game started. They've all been friendly conversations, and I don't want to speculate that Matlow has had any issues of dispute with the umpiring so far, but that is unusual for the manager to come out so often. 3 times already in this game, twice between innings and once after that controversial play at second base where Noel McGarry-Doyle was thrown out after about 15-20 seconds of deliberation between the base umpire and the home plate umpire. It was just an unusual situation.
Yeah, but it's hard to imagine that they're still talking about that now.
3 balls and 1 strike. So I'm not sure if Josh has been talking about other things with the umpire, maybe nice restaurants here in the Barrie area, or catching a movie after the game or something. But called strike, and Plumpton was on his way to first. He'll do a 3-step back to the box.
Well, it continues to be a big strike zone for both teams.
Three balls, 2 strikes, pitch from De Los Santos, fouled away. Count holds. I think fans like big strike zones. It forces the guys at the plate to swing the bat, put the ball in play, keep the game moving.
Pitchers like big strike zones. I don't know if the hitters will agree with that.
Full count here to Plumpton.
It's just remaining consistent as an umpire.
Both sides want nothing more than consistency, and Plumpton got his walk. He just had to wait a couple of extra pitches for it. First free pass offered by De Los Santos this afternoon. And we see Jake Wilson step into the on-deck circle, so he has arrived and will presumably bat in the number 2 spot where Brendan Colley was. So Noel McGarry-Doyle, leadoff hitter.
And that's on schedule for Jake Wilson as planned today. So he'll move to center field. McGarry-Doyle, who's up at bat right now, will move to left, and then Infante will move to third base.
And Wilson had been the leadoff man for 12 or 13 games before the switch was made, and then McGarry-Doyle moved to the leadoff spot with Wilson number 2. So we'll see if that ends up being kind of the status quo here as we head in towards the second half, the midway mark of the season. Plumpton at first, nobody out, third inning. Called strike, 1 and 2. McGarry-Doyle, 324 coming into the game as Plumpton draws a throw. Baycats have stolen 2 already today. Baycats have had at least 1 base runner each inning so far. Here's the pitch from De Los Santos. That's over the head of ducking McGarry-Doyle. Gets out of the way, and the count is full, 3 and 2.
Some of the command for De Los Santos has not been there. That's not the first time it's been up and in against a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, good. Otherwise it screws up the music for them.
Mullen with a sign for De Los Santos, and the 3-2 is on the way. Foul down the third base line. Everybody will go back, and we'll do it again. If you like afternoon baseball, only 2 more 4 p.m. starts left on the schedule. We'll have to wait till July 23rd for our next Saturday afternoon against the Kitchener Panthers. And then London's back here for another
And those
Saturday
are the last
afternoon.
2 Junior Baycats days of the year.
All the other games will be under the lights here at Vintage Throne Stadium for the 2022 regular season at least.
Full theme night schedule is available on barriebaycats.com.
3-2 coming. Runner goes on the ground. Second baseman with that is Mcqueen. Makes the play over to second. They get the out. Quick thinking by Mcqueen. And Plumpton is retired 4-6. But the speedier of the two by far is aboard on the fielder's choice.
So this is Jake Wilson's first at-bat of the game, so it's a little bit unusual, but he is here, and he will go out to center field in the next half inning.
So the Baycats will certainly take the trade-off with speed on the bases, McGarry Doyle versus Plumpton, but it cost them an out here.
Well, speaking of that, you look at Tyler Plumpton stealing on that pitch, and you think about how the Baycats have looked like they're going to be stealing more bases over the last few days.
And that's a testament to Noel McGarry Doyle running on that 3-2 pitch, full confidence that he was going to put that ball in play and avoid a potential strike him out, throw him out, double play. Ball gets away from the catcher and the runner goes head first. Without a throw is McGarry Doyle.
That should go as a passed ball, passed ball.
Baycats with a runner at second now for the second straight inning. And Wilson with a high, shallow pop-up. And over is the third baseman in foul territory, Kieran Bowles. 2 outs, here comes Ryan Rio. Great energy by Evie on these calls, announcing the Baycats at the bottom of the third, and she's hoping for more. So's Ryan Rio. He'll try to give her a few more batters here to announce here in this third inning. Fourth Baycat to the plate. Runner at second. Let's see if Rio can get the game's first run in here for Evie and the fans at Vintage Throne Stadium. First pitch swinging to first base, and it's right into the glove of Gibson Kurzminski. Steps on the bag, and that will do it in the third. Baycats strand another runner. We're through 3, and we're scoreless. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Some changes for the Barrie Baycats. We return to Vintage Throne Stadium here in inning number 4. Branfi Infante has moved from left field to third base. Jake Wilson, who entered the game as a pinch hitter for Brendan Colley, moves to center field. And in left field, Noel McGarry Doyle, who moved over from center, moves over there.
Fourth inning of play here at Vintage Throne Stadium, brought to you by
Here's Ben.
Center Field Foods. Center Field Foods, feeding fans and families of the Barrie Community Sports Complex since 2005.
Adam Kahn remains on the mound for the Baycats. Boy, he's looked good today. 3 innings so far. He's kept the powerhouse London Majors off the board so far. They have just 2 hits, and they have stranded 2 runners. And Cleveland Brownlee will try to get it started here for London in the 4th inning. Veteran designated hitter. Swings and misses at the first pitch.
It's not often you see Cleveland Brownlee that behind on a pitch.
Show him your laptop. We lost one of the breakers. The ball or strike? We lost one of the breakers.
Kahn throws that one low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Brownlee, a menacing 6'4", 280 pounds.
Had 4 hits in that game yesterday, including a home run. And you look at the score in that game yesterday, it was 17-5.
Brownlee hits this one to left field, and back on the track and making the catch is Noel McGarry Doyle. The wind just keeping that one in the park. Brownlee barreled up and gave that one a ride. It's a long, loud out.
You think about that score, 17-5, London beating Whelan. Whelan is a really good team, arguably the best team so far this season. So Whelan and London, you would expect it to be a little more competitive than that. That just shows how good this lineup for the Majors is.
Yeah, 2 very different teams. Whelan really good at putting the ball in play and running the bases, and London more of a slugging powerhouse offense. Really interesting anytime those 2 teams go head-to-head. This one is short. Burns makes the throw in time. 2 quick outs. And how about Adam Kahn? He's retired 6 in a row, Patrick.
Well, that's what the Baycats were looking for when he came into the rotation. And now 2 straight starts against London. He's shown himself to be not only a good starter, a spot starter for the Baycats, but a good member of this rotation consistently. I mean, the Baycats really can't ask for anything more out of Adam Kahn and Evan Souls as they've joined the rotation this year after Jason Aquino and Marshall Leishman have left the team.
Really, the only way to beat London is quick outs, keep them off the bases, because once they start getting runners on, you know there are guys that can knock that ball in with the long ball and lots of extra bases. Solid offensive numbers for the Majors again this season. This one hit on the ground, foul.
Another
Kahn ahead
batter
0-2.
hitting above 300. Everybody is hitting above 300 in this lineup except Austin Wilkie, Kieran Bowles, and Chris Mcqueen.
Adam Kahn looking very impressive. He's not falling behind anybody either. He's 0-2 here on Starling Joseph. Has not issued a walk in this game. 2 strikeouts, and that one just missed. Fans wanted that. 1-2 is the count to Starling Joseph, the right fielder. Four errors in this game. None of them have led to any scoring. The pitch from Kahn. Swung on and missed. Plumpton with it. Lots of time to make the throw, and he does. And down go the London Majors, 3 up, 3 down, back-to-back innings. What a job by Adam Kahn. Rolling for the Baycats here as they head to the bottom of the 4th. We are still scoreless. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base for the Baycats in the 4th inning. Start for London in the 4th. Leading off the fourth.
Here come the Baycats in the bottom of the fourth inning, still looking to get on the board against the London Majors. We are scoreless with Patrick Brown. I'm Ben Davey. Kendra Doyle on assignment today. Malik Williams, first baseman. Juan Familia, the right fielder, and Bradfie Infante, the game's third baseman now. Patrick Melbourne along with Ben Davey. Kendra Doyle on assignment. Now I got to go back and watch the tape. Malik Williams, Juan Familia, Bradfie Infante. Inside, fastball from Pedro de los Santos. Both pitchers have been spot on this afternoon. They've had base runners to work with and have gotten out of any potential trouble so far today. 2-0 on the way. De los Santos gets that one over for a called strike.
Perfect location on that pitch.
And that's what De Los Santos does so well. On the rare occasion he does fall behind an account, he's able to get the ball over and get the strike when he needs it, and there's a foul tip for a strike by Williams, 2-2.
That one's normally fake blocked though.
Usually, but when I done it earlier, it was blocked. So I relocked.
Taking his time between pitches.
Two hopper, third baseman. Kieran Bowles with a running throw, low but in time for the out. Williams is retired, 5-3, and Juan Familia, the right fielder, comes to the plate for the second time this afternoon.
Just Juan's second game as a Barrie Baycat since signing. Baycats have added a few players in the last few days. Dylan Shepard today, Juan Familia a few days ago, Brad Mcqueen a few days before that, and then Malik Williams.
In case we forgot to tell you, the fourth inning is brought to you by Centerfield Foods, feeding fans and families at the Barrie Community Sports Complex since 2005. Those snacks and refreshments are in high demand here this afternoon.
Absolutely.
Skied to center field. Austin Wilkie, lots of time, makes the catch. Two quick outs here for Pedro de los Santos.
The third baseman, number 8, Bradfie Infante.
Bradfie Infante now at third base after starting the game in left field.
It's interesting. We saw Infante have such a good game against Kitchener last time out, and it was before he had those big home runs that you could kind of tell Infante was locked in, just really ahead of pitchers. We'll see if that continues here today.
It's amazing how sometimes you can look back on the season and you can actually pinpoint a game where a hitter, it just all sort of came together for them and they started to hit their stride. And we saw that with Bradfie, as you mentioned. That game's a great example. Owen Janssen had one of those ball games recently.
I think Carson Burns had one of those.
Sometimes it takes 8, 10, 12 games to really find that rhythm.
Especially if you're new to the league, and that's one of the things that I think was impressive about Juan Familia's debut, where he had that home run in his debut.
Most of these players love routine. They love consistency, knowing they're going to be in the lineup. This one hit to left. Lawrence is over, makes the catch. Pedro de los Santos now cruising along. As we have 4 innings in the books here at Vintage Throne Stadium through 4, scoreless. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Fifth inning brought to you by Ital Paving for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial paving needs, providing quality service for over 37 years because you deserve the best. We'd also like to tell you that the Baycats will be hosting their annual golf tournament on August 18th at Innisbrook Golf Course. Baycats are opening it up to fans this year. If you're interested, please go to the front entrance for more information or go to barriebaycats.com to sign up. Here is Ben Davey.
Thank you, Patrick. This game started an hour and 5 minutes ago. We're in the fifth inning already.
I have called games where it has been an hour and we're still in the first inning.
I remember one in Brantford that I'm sure it took an hour, the first inning. 1-0 to Drew Lawrence to start it off. Gibson Kurzminski, Kieran Bowles. I mean, these are two teams that can hit. With London, you know it's just a matter of time.
With both these teams, I think it's just a matter of time until they get some runs on the board.
London Majors with, 17 runs against Whelan last night, so. But Adam Kahn, give credit to the Baycat right-hander today, and it looks like his afternoon is far from over.
Pitch count can't be very high.
It's a second. Nice play by Owen Janssen. Bit of a tricky hop. He watched that right into the glove, and there's one down.
Owen Jansen has been getting better and better as this season's gone on, both offensively and defensively. We mentioned how the confidence really looks like it's going up for Owen.
19, Gibson Kurzminski.
It's great to see. Super nice guy, too, by the way. I was interviewing him.
Yeah, he is. Like most of these Baycat players, a guy who will just stand around and talk to the fans after the game, and pictures, autographs, everything.
It's nice to see Owen Jansen doing well.
Gibson Kurzminski, the first baseman, he is 1 for 1. London's second hit of the afternoon. Sounds like the bullpen phone just rang. 0-1 is the count. I think Adam Kahn really endeared himself to these Baycats fans right from his very first appearance as a Baycat. He was an emergency starter for Jason Aquino against the Guelph Royals here on, I think it was a Thursday night game, and literally found out minutes before the game he was going to be starting. Just joined the team. Jason had some arm soreness and was unable to pitch that night. Aquino's since been released by the club, of course, but that was really the open door for Adam Kahn to show us what he can add to this Baycat pitching staff, and handled the Guelph Royals solidly that night. And pretty much all of his appearances have been very impressive since. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count.
Baycat's been looking for consistency and rotation stability over the last couple of years after Juan Benitez, who has turned into their ace. So between Adam Kahn, Evan Souls, and Riley Hoover, they're starting to get some good starts on a consistent basis.
When you factor in the innings today, Kahn with just 7 earned runs in 21 innings of work. Pretty impressive numbers.
And the team expecting Frank Garces at some point soon, so
you get a top 3 of Benitez, Garces, and Kahn. That looks pretty good heading into the
sure does
second half of the season and into the playoffs as well. Roll those 3 and then use a fourth starter, maybe a Riley Hoover or Evan Souls. 2-2.
Bit of a long bat here as Kahn slows things down against Gibson Kurzminski.
Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. Ryan Jackson rings him up. 4th strikeout of the game for Adam Kahn. And number 8 hitter Kieran Bowles comes to the plate.
Third baseman number 97, Kieran Bowles.
I don't know what the season best is for batters retired consecutively is, but I would have to think Adam Kahn is approaching that. 9 straight in a row now he's retired. First pitch swinging as Bowles fouls it away.
Did you just jinx that?
I guess we'll find out.
I
this
guess
at
we
bat.
will.
You can blame me if he gets on. If he doesn't get on, you can say thank you, Ben, for pointing out that interesting tidbit here on our broadcast today. Kahn to Bowles. Hit weakly, but charging is Branfy, and he mishandles it. I guess you can blame
Thank you,
me.
Ben, for pointing out that interesting fact on our broadcast today.
Branfi and Fonda gets a pat on the back from Adam Kahn. That's nice to see. He will get an error, but he had to charge that. That was tough.
It was a tough play.
And if he didn't get the error, it sounds like I was going to get it. So one of us was going to get that third Barrie error of the day, and I guess it's Branfi. So Chris Mcqueen, the second baseman, as Bowles keeps the inning alive. Big lead at first. Does not go. Pitch. Low ball one.
Where is Brady? He just came running back.
Malik Williams at first base, I believe, for the first time this season.
Came running back this way. Look for Key.
He's been rotating around first and DH for a little while.
Ryan Rio DHing today.
I'm going to check your facts and look back because it's been him and Rio rotating in the DH and first base spot for a while.
Called strike.
He played first base in that game against Brantford in Brantford, which I'll give you a pass on because he didn't call that one. So I believe this is his first time playing first base at home this season.
Second since joining the Baycats. You got a good scorebook. You score all the games, home and road.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, I don't score the road games. I watch them when I can.
I score all the ones I call.
Great thing about the Baycats YouTube channel, Baycats TV, is that those road games especially, if you're not at the ballpark, you're not able to watch it live, pull it up, the next morning. Have some baseball over your breakfast. I've done that before.
Breakfast baseball.
Love it. Love
and
it.
when Baycats TV does not have the game, we'll share the feed from the other broadcast on our social media.
People get busy in the summertime. You're out, you're at the beach, you're having barbecues and stuff. If you can't watch the game, you go to YouTube and watch the game anytime. You don't have to watch it live. It's up there for you to, you can even go back to previous games throughout the season. So it's a really nice addition. With the addition of social media now, we can put those games on there for you to enjoy all season long.
All off season.
In the wintertime. I love doing that.
Now, here's a question for you.
As this one's fouled off left side.
Do you ever watch winter ball? Winter leagues?
I don't. The only I watched some South Korean baseball during the pandemic because that was the only baseball that was really happening. But I find it's hard to find those. I can watch the highlights, but the live broadcasts are tricky. You talking like the Dominican League, the Arizona Fall League?
Yes. Coverage is getting better and better for accessing those games.
Those South Korean games were really, really interesting to watch.
Well, you saw at the beginning of the pandemic, it was the Taiwanese league starting up first, and that was the one that kind of brought the cardboard fans, and then the KBO came a little bit later, did similar stuff.
3-2 to Chris Mcqueen. The runner goes, the pitch, and it's a foul tip into the glove, strike three. What a job by Adam Kahn. Majors held off the board through 5. We go to the bottom of the 5th now. Baycats coming to bat, 0-0. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. What a ball game here at Vintage Throne Stadium. It is a scoreless tie between the defending IBL champion London Majors and the hometown Barrie Baycats. It has been a pitcher's delight here this afternoon. We have had base runners on both sides, but both Adam Kahn and Pedro de los Santos have been in full control. And the Baycats will send Carson Burns, Owen Janssen, Tyler Plumpton, the bottom third of the order, to face De Los Santos here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Burns with a bunt, right back to the mound. Mishandling it as De Los Santos has time, picks it up, throws, not in time.
And with that hit, Carson Burns has now been on base for 5 of his last 6 at-bats.
The second baseman, number 14.
They'll give an error to Pedro de los Santos on that.
Our official score was, error.
It was a close one.
Most of the errors today have been really, really tough calls, but that's the sixth error of the ball game now, so 3 on each side. I think De Los Santos was maybe thinking he might have caught that before it hit the ground, but
I think the heat is having an effect on these players. These are 2 good defensive teams.
Once that ball touched the grass, he pretty much needed to make a clean. Oh, now the home plate umpire is motioning over to the Baycat dugout. And he wants the players to come off the field. I think Riley Hoover was kind of standing on the dirt portion above the dugout, and the home plate umpire motioned him back into the dugout. This one hit down the right field line, and rounding second is Burns. Up with it is Joseph with the throw. It rolls into third base, and the Baycats get runners on the corners here with nobody out.
Another hit from Owen Janssen.
The catcher, number 44, Tyler Plumpton.
3rd inning today that the Baycats have had the leadoff man on, and now they get 2 aboard with nobody out for the number 9 hitter, Tyler Plumpton.
We mentioned Burns had been on base in 5 of his last 6 at-bats. Now Jansen, the exact same, has been on base in 5 of his last 6 at-bats.
Plumpton, not your typical number 9 hitter. He's got a .371 average. You do not want to relax against this bottom of the Baycat batting order if you're Pedro de los Santos.
Tyler Plumpton played in that game in Brantford and reached base 5 times. Had a couple of singles actually, and then was hit by a pitch and walked. He was on base 5 times in that one, has already reached base with a walk today.
Very impressive. We've talked about Robert Mullen already, and here's Plumpton hitting this one to center field. It's going to hang up there in time for Wilkie, but tagging is Burns, and he will score! And the Baycats get the game's first run. Nice throw by Wilkie. That was closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I kind of looked down to score it without even thinking about it.
It was a bouncer to Mullen. He gloved it cleanly. Tried the tag, but crossing home plate by a hair is Carson Burns. So 1-0 Barrie on the sacrifice fly by Tyler Plumpton. The veteran doing exactly what he needed to do in that situation. Hit the ball deep, get the runner in. Jansen stayed at first. So 1 on with 1 out here for Noel McGarry-Doyle.
Wind now coming in once again. This time from, I don't know. Where would you say that's coming in from?
Yeah, it's in, and it's from left to right.
Yeah, that was my first instinct, and then I hesitated because it was kind of going in a different direction.
And what was the call there?
A balk.
That was a balk on Pedro de los Santos. He's arguing. And out for a chat is Roop Chanderdat. And he wants to talk to first base umpire Isaac Zivchuk. Jansen goes to second on the balk. We've got a little bit of everything today. Yeah, the flag's above the right field scoreboard showing a little bit more of a stiff breeze coming in.
It's kind of moved away from us and in that direction.
And again, the wind here at Vintage Throne Stadium typically blows in from the west, which is the right field side. So it's in from right to left, but right now it's blowing in from left to right. Bit of a southeasterly wind. Inside fastball, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. So runner at second. 1 out on the sac fly by Plumpton. Gary Doyle calls time and now settles in. Lefty-lefty matchup. De Los Santos with the pitch. Swing and a miss. Looked like either a sinker or a splitter. It was low, and McGarry Doyle whiffed on it. Count is 2-1. Here's the pitch. This one hit to the second baseman, Chris Mcqueen, makes the throw, not in time. Just took too long coming up with it.
McQueen dropped it on the transfer.
Center fielder number 15, Jake Wilson.
And that is another error as he dropped it.
Yeah, rightly so.
I don't care which it is, as long as I get it right.
7th error of the ball game. When was the last time you saw a 1-0 game with 7 errors, Patrick?
It doesn't happen very often.
I mean, I know we're only in the 5th, but still, that's... Runner goes. Pitches a ball, the throw, the slide, and it gets by. Backed up nicely by the second baseman, McQueen.
Second stolen base of 3 attempts today for McGarry Doyle. He's just going every single time.
And I'm a little surprised Jansen wasn't coming in on that throw down to second base, but he stays put, decides to play it safe here in a one-run game.
Actually.
Andrew White over to talk to him. I don't know if the plan was for him to hold up and just play it safe, put 2 in scoring position. This one skied to center field. Wilkie coming in. This is the second baseman going back, and McQueen makes the catch. Here's the throw, the tag, and he is out at the plate. Give McQueen credit for a good throw there. That was tough because he was backpedaling towards center field. And Jansen is thrown out. Third out of the inning. Baycats get on the board and make it a 1-0 game through 5. Patrick up to call the 6th and 7th. When we return, you're watching Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV.
Baycats in the 5th inning, 1 run on 1 hit, 2 errors, 1 left on base.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
There's the 107.5 Cool FM 10. So we welcome you back to Vintage Throne Stadium, 6th inning, brought to you by the Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house. Patrick Melbourne, Ben Davey here with you. Brian Backlund, our producer. Gary Mason, statistician. Rob Daniels, PA announcer. And Bob Hurley, our photographer. Adam Kahn back out there on the hill facing off against the top of the order, and Austin Wilkie in the first pitch is down and away for ball number 1. Wilkie popped out in the first and struck out in the 3rd inning. Right-handed batter, bat over his shoulder as he takes the pitch from Kahn outside. So the count is 2-0. The weather around here at Vintage Throne Stadium, it's windy and then it's not, and the humidity just has time to get back up high before another gust of wind comes in. 2-0. That one's on the ground, foul on the right side. It's a very odd day weather-wise. Let me just put it that way. Owen Janssen returning to his defensive position at second. Everybody playing normally as Adam Kahn ready with the 2-1. And that one's way up and in, and it's 3-1. It'll be Wilkie, then Keith Candela, and Cleveland Brownlee. So the tough part of this majors order coming up with Candela, Brownlee, Robert, Mullen. A couple of guys with big home run numbers and averages over 400. Here's the 3-1. And that's hit to right center field and pretty deep. That one's going back, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Bounces near the warning track, and that's going to be extra bases for Austin Wilkie as he heads into second base with no throw near him. It's a leadoff double for the center fielder, Austin Wilkie.
Shortstop number 12, Keith Candela.
So now here's Candela, and this is where it starts to get dangerous for the Baycats. Keith Candela, a very good hitter coming up. And Tyler Plumpton goes out to the mound to talk to his right-hander, Adam Kahn. Action's starting to happen in the bullpen. As we just get a look at that, it is Brad Grievason warming up in the bullpen for the Barrie Baycats. Plumpton returns back behind the plate. So Kahn ready. Graveson looks like he'll be next up if the Baycats need another arm in this inning. First pitch coming to Keith Candela, the shortstop. Entered today hitting .316 as that one's down and away. First two at-bats, both groundouts. Baycats playing with a 1-0 lead, but there's a runner in scoring position now in the top of the sixth. That's Austin Wilkie. Kahn looks back at Wilkie, and now the right-hander Adam Kahn kicks and throws, and that is right in the middle for a strike, 1-1. Kahn's been working fairly quickly through this game. Now looks back, kicks, throws, and it is outside and low. Count at 2-1. Malik Williams playing in, expecting perhaps a bunt to try and get Wilkie over to third. Which, you know, not a super bold call, but Keith Candela is the number 2 hitter in this lineup, so you might see a little bit more than a bunt. Here's the 2-1. Now here it is. I was wrong. That one's going to go right back to Adam Kahn. Thinks about third, goes to first, and Malik Williams makes the catch. Runner Wilkie does go to third. It's a sacrifice bunt for Candela, and that's the first out of the inning. So that'll bring up Cleveland Brownlee. He's flown out to left and been hit by a pitch today. It was the last game the London Majors played in Vintage Throne Stadium. Not the last time these two teams faced each other, but the last time London came here, that Cleveland Brownlee hit a big home run. As he has quite a few times over the years for the London Majors, no matter where they're playing. A big power bat in the IBL. Austin Wilkie taking his lead from third. Adam Kahn ready on the mound. Kicks and throws. And that is fouled back to the screen. You can see Owen Janssen covering second right now on your screen. He is the second baseman, but he's playing almost more of the shortstop side of the bag, as Carson Burns playing the traditional shortstop position. So there's 3 infielders on the left, only 1 on the right. It is a shift for Cleveland Brownlee. How often do you see shifts in the IBL? 0-1 coming up from Adam Kahn. Kicks, throws, and that is hit left field. That one's going back. It's pretty deep, but moving over is Noel McGarry-Doyle. He's got under it. He'll make the catch. Throw back in will be to the shortstop, Carson Burns. A runner will come in. That's Austin Wilkie to score the first run for London and tie the game It's a sacrifice fly for Cleveland Brownlee for the second out, but London's even things up. It's 1-1.
Yeah, and you mentioned the shift there, Patrick. If you're going to shift, Cleveland Brownlee, definitely a guy to shift on, as he has all that power to left field. As a right-handed hitter, one of the league's premier power hitters, and he hit that one deep enough into the outfield to bring the run home and tie this game at 1.
So here's Robert Mullen, the catcher, hitting .458 this season coming into tonight. .458. That's almost a hit in half of his appearances this year. That's a swing and a miss.
Great pitch by Adam Kahn. Patrick, when I was down refilling our water bottles there between innings, I had a chat with Adam Kahn's dad, who's right behind home plate, as you would imagine on a game like this, thoroughly enjoying every inning of this ball game, and was all smiles when I chatted with him.
0-1 coming up. Big swing and a miss.
And he mentioned the baseball program that Adam is in right now at UBC. They have scheduled limitations on his pitch count and his innings. So if there have been games this year where you wonder, why did Adam get pulled after 3 innings or 5 innings or whatever the case is, it's because of that program that he's on. And so not really the flexibility that the fans might hope to see, but today he's going deep here into the 6th. He's kept the pitch count low enough that he's been able to stay out there.
There's a pop-up to first base into foul territory. Malik Williams makes the play, and that'll retire the side. But the London Majors tie things up. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's tied at 1 here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV Barrie. Ryan Rio will lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Just some more info on Adam Kahn pitch count-wise for you. He's thrown 80 pitches through 6 innings, and 50 of them have been strikes, so he has really had his best start as a Baycat to this point.
Yeah, and this has by far been his longest start of the season, Patrick. 6 innings of work so far. Prior to today, his longest appearance was 4 1/3, and that was against London on Sunday. So, as I mentioned, that program he's on with UBC that I guess incrementally increases his innings and his pitch count. It must be a formula of the two. You can see how his starts have been getting longer in general through the season over his 6 appearances now with Barrie.
Big swing and a miss from Rio. Now, you're more of a traditional baseball person, right? in general.
Most cases, yes.
So
That doesn't
something
mean
that
all
has
by
made
the
its way to the IBL this season, as here's the pitch from De Los Santos, as that's hit off the end of the bat, left side, moving over to try and make a running catch is the left fielder for the London Majors, Drew Lawrence, but he's not going to get there. It falls to foul territory. So it's 1-2. One of the things that has arrived in the IBL this season is the opener. Baycats have used it a few times, going with one pitcher for a couple innings and then a guy for a few more innings. Adam Kahn and Evan Souls have been that guy a couple of times. And then that game in Guelph, they had the starter pitch only one inning, and then the guy in relief came in, ended up pitching 8 innings in relief. 1-2. Heading to right center field. Everybody moving over for it, but it's going to be the center fielder, Austin Wilkie, to make the catch 2 away.
So you're asking me if I like openers as opposed to starters?
Or 1 away, sorry. I'm asking you what your opinion in general is for the opener, because in theory, you get him 1 inning later into the game by taking away that early on in the game, and you potentially get him seeing the top 3 in the order 1 fewer time until later in the game. So there are pros to it in my mind, but it's a little bit different than the traditional starter. Pitch from De Los Santos is inside to Malik Williams, 1-0. So, yeah, what are your thoughts?
I don't like it.
Okay, I didn't think you would.
And I don't want to sound like the get-off-my-lawn baseball curmudgeon.
Ground ball to shortstop. Moving over is Candela, throws on to first, 2 away.
If a guy's going to be your starting pitcher, give him the ball. Let him go as deep into the ball game as he can. And I know a lot of times, you know, through the system now, arms aren't being developed the same way they were 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. But it used to be you'd give a guy a ball and you'd let him go out there and mow down as many as he could. He starts to get in trouble, then that's when you go to your bullpen. But now you get into the bullpen in the second inning of a ball game, and you know you're wearing down your pitching staff by putting more guys out there than you need.
Welcome to the broadcast booth, by the way. Patrick Melbourne, Ben Davey with you. As the London Majors and the Barrie Baycats play a 1-1 ball game here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Just talking about the way the opener has been used around the IBL this season, as the first pitch to Juan Familia was a ball, and so was the second.
Stats rule at the end of the day. I realize that, and managers are going to do whatever statistically is going to give their pitchers an edge. But as a fan, I mean, look at this game today. Has this not been one of the best games we've watched? You've 2 incredible pitchers, in Adam Kahn and Pedro de los Santos. And it's just a battle of these 2 guys on the mound. Which one's going to break first? I mean, they've each given up a run.
But I think you can also still get good long pitching performances out of the bullpen, like the Guelph game showed, where he came in the second inning, went 8 innings. As that one's hit to right, and that one's going to get down for a base hit. Juan Familia might have extra bases. That one goes all the way to the wall. Thrown back in, and it's going to be, well, it looked like it was going to be cut off, but the second baseman missed it. Chris Mcqueen. It's a double for Juan Familia.
Just the 3rd hit of the afternoon for the Baycats, and their first hit since last inning when Owen Janssen got on base. McGarry Doyle led the game with a single, and that's it. So Pedro de los Santos has just been complete command here so far. Both him and Kahn putting on a great show for us here this afternoon.
Oh, Branfi and Fonte put on a great show for Baycats fans on Thursday night. You mentioned a couple times now, but he had 2 home runs. We're going to mention it a few times. That one's fouled away. He had a grand slam in the 7th inning and then a normal home run earlier on in the game. That was really the big difference in that game, although it ended up 15-2, so there were quite a few big differences in that game for the Baycats. Juan Familia taking the lead off second. It's not a big lead, although the steps are getting bigger and bigger. De Los Santos looking back, not throwing, now coming home, and that is outside, and it's 1-1.
If you love baseball symmetry, this will impress you. We've got a 1-1 tie between 2 incredible pitchers here, Adam Kahn and Pedro de los Santos. Their pitch counts virtually identical. Kahn has thrown 80 pitches, 50 strikes. De los Santos now 81 pitches, 48 strikes.
1-1's outside, 2-1.
So De Los Santos with a slightly higher pitch count here, but virtually identical through 6 innings.
The seagulls are here, by the way. I don't know if you can hear them or see them. but there are a lot of seagulls.
No symmetry to them. They're hovering around the concession area.
2-1 is swung on and missed, 2-2.
They smell the fries.
Not a ton of mosquitoes at the ballpark today, but man, the seagulls are here. Although a mosquito has gotten me already.
Today?
Yeah, 2-2.
My gosh.
Hit to short. Moving over is Candela. Throws on to first, and that'll end the inning. A double for Juan Familia, but nothing else. Still tied at 1 as we head to the 7th inning. It's Baycats 1, London Majors 1, here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
For the Baycats in the 6th inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie or revivemedspa.ca. Our 7th inning is brought to you by Firehouse Subs Barrie and Aurelia. Only top quality, freshly sliced meats and cheeses piled high on toasty hot rolls. Buy subs, save lives. Now, on the mic for the 7th inning, once again, Patrick Melbourne.
Thank you very much, Ben. Starling Joseph will lead things off against Adam Kahn, who is just throwing a gem right now. 80 pitches through 6 innings. Tomorrow, the Baycats will be on the road in Kitchener for a 2 p.m. start. It's Joseph bunts, and that's a well-placed bunt. Kahn picks it up and throws it, and they got him!
Wow.
What a play by Adam Kahn, throwing it to Malik Williams. And that's a first out of the inning on a play that looked like it would be really tough. It was really tough, but they got it done. Baycats have that game in Kitchener.
Number 14.
That's tomorrow at 2 p.m. You can view it on the Kitchener Panthers YouTube channel and Baycats Radio right here on Baycats TV. It'll be myself and Mark Perry on the call. And the Baycats have 4 off days, but they're going to need them. Pitch to Drew Lawrence is outside.
Mark Perry doing that London game with you?
Doing the Kitchener one.
Oh, Kitchener, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I know Mark. That's great. You'll enjoy working with him.
I did one game with him earlier on, the other game on May 23rd. Very, very nice guy. Really good commentator.
What a great play by Adam Kahn on that ball that we just saw. We haven't seen him tested a whole lot defensively coming off the mound trying to make a tough play like that yet this year, but he looked like a pro fielding that ball and making the play.
Pitch fouled away by Drew Lawrence. Just going back to the schedule one last time, those 4 off days will be important for the Baycats because they have 3 back-to-back games to start July off. They're in London on Canada Day, as that's lined to first base. Malik Williams with a nice defensive play again for the 2nd out of the inning. So they're in London on July 1st, then Brantford comes here on July 2nd, and then they're in Hamilton on July 3rd. So it's 3 straight games for the Baycats to begin July. So those 4 off days coming up will be important to recharge for the team.
Should mention that July 1st game on the Friday night is Canada Day, so hey, if you're a Baycat fan, you probably got that day off work. The kids are off school. That would be a great road trip. Head to Labatt Park and cheer on the Baycats on a Friday night. something that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to do probably during the rest of the year, but being Canada Day, that would be a lot of fun.
First pitch, a strike to Gibson Kurzminski. Second pitch, a swinging strike to Gibson Kurzminski. Just catching up on my scorebook here. Kurzminski has singled and struck out looking. Count now 0-2. Adam Kahn's pitch is down and in. Gets away from Plumpton, goes back to the backstop, but there's no base runners.
Adam Kahn at one point had retired 9 in a row, and 10 of 11, the only one was an error off the bat of Kieran Bowles to break up that streak, and now he's retired another 5 in a row following the double to Austin Wilkie. So
came into the pitch with the inning with only 80 pitches. Now kicks, throws, and the 1-2 hits to Owen Janssen at second base. He throws on to Malik Williams at first. Another great inning for Adam Kahn on the mounds. We head to the bottom of the 7th, still 1-1 here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and the Barrie Baycats on Rogers TV Barrie.
No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. All right, fans, why don't you stand up in your vehicle and enjoy the
Mics are on.
Technical issue, guys. We did the audio for us.
A bit of a technical issue there. Sorry about that if you experienced that. So the runner goes to second. That's Jansen on the sack bunt by Tyler Plumpton.
Probably on this entire half so far.
Still like that decision to put the bunt on there with nobody out. You still only have one out of the inning. Another runner in scoring position. You're up by a run, but clearly every run is going to be crucial here this afternoon in this 2-1 ball game.
So here's Noel McGarry Doyle, fourth at bat today. McGarry Doyle grabs it to first base, and that one's through for a base hit. Jansen's going to hold at third. It's a single for McGarry Doyle here in the 7th.
You know, viewers at home might be wondering, why on earth would Plumpton be bunting? He's hitting .371 this season. Well, you just saw the reason why. Full confidence that Noel McGarry Doyle can manage to put the ball in play and get a base hit, move Jansen up another 90 feet. So you got runners at the corners here, still only one out in the inning.
This is Jake Wilson's third at-bat of the day. He came in the third inning to hit for Brendan Cawley in a pinch hit appearance that was mostly scheduled, as we'll get a meeting on the mound right now to see how Pedro de los Santos is doing. Wilson hitting .266 this season, but he has an on-base average of 347 coming into today. He is 0 for 2 today so far. He's popped out and flown out.
De los Santos pitch count now at 94. We're watching that carefully for you. 58 strikes. Now trailing for the first time in this ball game, 2-1 the score. And trying to get out of a jam here with runners on the corners and still only one out for Jake Wilson. Wilson loves to swing at the first pitch. Let's see if he does it here.
Runner going to second, Noel McGarry Doyle, and he's safe, but now Owen Janssen is going to come home and steal a run.
And Jansen does there exactly what I thought he was going to do in the 5th inning. When the runner took second, in the 5th inning, Jansen did not go. In this situation, he did.
And my mistake, by the way, McGarry Doyle is out on the stolen base attempt. He has now been caught twice today, as well as stolen 2 bases. So they score a run, but they give up a base runner. There are 2 out here in the 7th. There's a ground ball. Second base, Chris Mcqueen throws on to first, and that'll end the inning. But the Baycats add 2 as Carson Burns and Owen Janssen come in to score. And they now have a 3-1 lead as we head to the 8th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and the Barrie Baycats on Rogers TV.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie, or revivemedspa.ca.
Eighth inning brought to you by Mr. Lawn Care and Landscaping. Mr. Lawn Care and Landscaping servicing Simcoe County for all of your landscaping needs. We have reached the 8th inning. Baycats have a 3-1 lead. And Adam Kahn back out there on the mound to face off against Kieran Bowles, Chris Mcqueen, and then the top of the order in Austin Wilkie. And we can't wait to bring it to you. It's been a really, really fun game here at Vintage Throne Stadium. On the call for the rest of the game on play-by-play, all the descriptions being brought to you by Ben Davey.
Thank you, Patrick. Top of the 8th inning, Kieran Bowles, Chris Mcqueen, Austin Wilkie, due up for Roop Chanderdat and the Majors, trailing 3-1 in this ball game. Adam Kahn back out to work the 8th. The starter for the Baycats has been absolutely brilliant, by far his best appearance of the season, certainly his longest, allowing just 1 run on 3 London hits. And now time is called as Bowles will step out and Kahn will step off. Adam Kahn's pitch count now 89, which is pretty amazing here in the 8th inning. 57 strikes, 32 walks. Very similar to Pedro De Los Santos' strike ball ratio. But it's Kahn on top on the score, 3-1. Kahn's innings have been steadily increasing since the Baycats picked him up. And a strike. 1-2. Walking away is Bowles, shaking his head at that call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Baycats getting 2 big runs in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Not bad, though.
Owen Janssen coming in to score the game's 3rd run on a double steal attempt. Noel McGarry-Doyle thrown out at second. Janssen came in to score what could end up being a huge run. In a very similar situation, I mentioned it before, but in the 5th inning, with Janssen at 3rd and McGarry-Doyle stealing. Janssen did not go. He did go in the 7th. And it's a big run as it puts Barrie on top by 2.
We just got some IBL news, Ben.
Do tell.
The Kitchener Panthers have announced publicly that Skylar Janice, who has joined the Panthers this season after a 7-year professional career, will be making his first start for the Panthers tomorrow against the Baycats at Jack Couch Park. So we have a projected starter for tomorrow.
Breaking news. Good job, Patrick, as always, on top of the wire. 3-2 count here to Bowles, and it's high, ball 4.
A shout out to the Kitchener Panthers for making it super easy to find on that one. They posted it and tagged the Baycats. So
Kahn had
kinda
retired
easy to find.
6 in a row prior to that walk to Bowles. Out comes Josh Matlow. Methinks he will take the ball here despite just an incredible. Kahn's going to get a huge ovation here from the fans, and Matlow does take the ball, and it appears that's the case. He's already signaled for the right-hander. The infielder out. Lots of pats on the back, and Adam Kahn will hold his head high as he walks off the mound here this afternoon. Let's listen to the ovation from the fans here at Vintage Throne Stadium. "3-1 Barrie as the Baycats go to the bullpen. We'll be back. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
New pitcher for the Barrie Baycats is Brad Grievason.
Correction, number 12, Brad Grievousen.
So Graveson gets the ball. He also pitched in that game last week. The Baycats win against London, and he was outstanding. So we'll see if he can continue having that level of success as he faces off against the Majors, this time at home in front of the the home crowd. And that crowd gave a big ovation to Adam Kahn after he pitched 7 innings and only gave up the 1 run to a very, very tough London Majors batting order. Brad Grievanson this season has been really good in a number of roles. Has pitched 16 innings. This is his 10th game. He has struck out 25. He has walked 4, and at least one of those was an intentional walk. So that 1.68 ERA looking really good. Has a couple of saves. His batting average against is 190. So he'll be facing off against Chris Mcqueen, Austin Wilkie, and then potentially Keith Candela and Ben Davey. He has been as good as any pitcher for the Baycats this season.
I don't know if I've been as good as Brad Grievousen, but thank you for the compliment. Can't think of a better guy to give the ball to here than Brad in this situation, a 3-1 game.
I said Brad Grievousen has been as good as any Baycats pitcher.
I thought you said I had been as good.
Oh, no. No, you've been a great broadcaster.
Thank you.
I don't know
Brad.
if I put you on the mound in this situation, but you know. Brad Grievousen has been one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher for the Baycats this season.
No question. 42-year-old Baycat veteran. Been used in the late innings this season, and serves as the team's pitching coach as well. Lots of wisdom from his IBL years to pass along to these young arms, especially in the bullpen. And a big inning here with Chris McQueen, Austin Wilkie, and Keith Candela coming up. As he enters the game to the tune of Hell's Bells. Up the middle, double play ball here to second for 1, to first. Save! Chris McQueen, lightning on the bases. Beats it out for a fielder's choice. Bowles is retired. 4-6, a big out. Maybe a bit of a speed upgrade with McQueen over Bowles on the bases now, but it costs London an out. And they're back to the top of the order for Austin Wilkie.
Bo Lewington is warming up right now for the London Majors. A right-hander.
Runner does not go. First pitch strike. Austin Wilkie has scored London's lone run of this ball game. He bats with a man on first and 1 out here in the 8th. So Adam Kahn's day, very successful day, comes to an end after 95 pitches, 59 strikes, 36 balls. Second baseman, Jansen backpedaling, makes the catch, looks the runner back, 2 quick outs here since Brad Grievousen took the ball. And shortstop Keith Candela. Try to keep this inning alive for the Majors. If the Baycats hold on for this win, Patrick, I think we know who your player of the game choice is going to be.
I think I know as well.
Here's the pitch, outside corner, a strike.
Ben Davey.
I couldn't hear you over the sound of Hell's Bells. I thought you mentioned my name when you were talking about Brad. Ben and Brad sound very similar.
Yeah, kinda.
0-1 pitch. Right back to the mound, and it's gloved by Grievanson. He drops the ball and casually and slowly strolls back to the Barrie dugout. How about that? Graveson comes on, helps out Adam Kahn with 3 quick outs. The Baycats are off the field in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Barrie looking to add to a 3-1 lead over the Majors. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
hitter, number 27.
Bottom of the 8th inning for BarrieBaycats.com. The newly designed website features more highlights, more game day info, and more about your team. Patrick and I were just looking over some interesting tidbits in the season program this year. BarrieBaycats.com is where you can get the whole game day experience. Lots of interesting facts, stats on the website and in the program this season for fans to enjoy. Ryan Rio steps up to the plate to face London's first reliever, Bo Lewington, on in relief of Pedro De Los Santos. Take nothing away from his outing this afternoon, Patrick. We talked a lot about Adam Kahn, but
what
Pedro,
a pitching duel we saw. This is Lewington's 4th appearance of the season, all in relief. He has pitched 10 1/3 innings, given up 10 hits, so about a hit an inning. He has struck out 9. That's good. He has walked only 2. That's really good. So he's having a nice season so far for the London Majors. 3.48 ERA so far.
Pitch is low, ball 1, 1-2 to Ryan Rio.
Just talking about Brad Grievousen, historically for the Baycats, in his first stint with the Baycats from 02 to 05, he had a 1.74 ERA, which was the Baycats' best ever. And then he came back in 2021, had a 3.55 ERA last season, and then came in this season, has an ERA so far of 1.68.
Amazing.
One of the most dominant Baycats pitchers ever.
You put him in the conversation with Brad Bissell, Angus Roy, among others, Chris England.
Custodio, Guerrero.
Yeah. Boy, that's some high company right there.
And of course, Graveson has the flexibility to be used as a starter, a closer, or a long reliever.
Fouled off left side over near the London bullpen. No play, and the count holds at 3-2. Well, we were looking at the lifetime innings pitched, and I think you had the games played there as well.
I do. So the most games played by a Baycat is from Brad Bissell. And he also had the most wins as a Baycat, most innings pitched, most strikeouts, and most seasons played. He's also second, I mentioned second in complete games. He has 62 wins as a Baycat and 748 1/3 innings pitched.
A walk to Ryan Rio to lead off the 8th inning here, and Malik Williams will bat with a man on. Well, as you mentioned, there was a very long stint between Grievousen's 2 tenures with the ball club, but if he had pitched a few more seasons, I mean, he'd certainly be right up there on the leaderboard with games and innings pitched.
And he's a guy that, when I say he can start or close, he's definitely been the closer lately, right? And the guy who comes in for maybe a few innings out of the pen. But he can give you stamina, too. He made 3 starts for the Baycats last season. As Evan Souls comes in to pinch run for Rio.
Malik Williams, the first baseman, has yet to reach base this afternoon. This would be a timely opportunity for him to get something on the score sheet here, going for the Baycats with nobody out here in the 8th inning and a runner on. Baycats up by 2.
Basically, Brad Grievousen's pretty good.
I would say so. The wisdom that he's been able to pass along to the other pitchers on this team and his durability out of the bullpen, just a sure-handed arm. I'm sure we'll see him come back out here for the 9th. Baycats up by 2, looking to add some more. Juan Familia on deck. Branfi Infante after him, hopeful for an at-bat.
And you were mentioning this off air, just to give one more stat.
Called strike 3. Frozen on that 0-2 pitch was Williams. Big strikeout for Bo Lewington, 1 down.
We mentioned Bissell at the top of wins and innings pitched. Brad Bissell's 62 wins is ahead of Angus Roy's 28. So that's Bissell with that many more wins than anybody else who has ever pitched for the Baycats, and same with innings. Angus Roy, who pitched a lot of innings with the Baycats, 364 1/3. Brad Bissell pitched 748 innings and 1/3 innings with the team.
We should see if we can get Brad on a broadcast one of these games, because he'd be such an interesting guy to talk to. It felt to me like Angus had more than 28 Baycat wins lifetime. But, I mean, keep in mind he spent many, many years here as a
And
manager.
it's the win-loss stat, so things can go a little bit funny with that sometimes.
Right, but he spent many seasons as a manager where he was not pitching, so it maybe kind of felt like Angus's pitching career was longer than it was, but, I mean, that's still an impressive total. But 28 for Angus, 62 for Brad, and that really puts it in perspective, how important Brad Bissell was to this organization. 1-1 the count here. Juan Familia.
And Brad Grievason is going to be on that saves leaderboard in the top 3 by the end of this season, you would think.
Runner leads. Evan Souls does not go. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count.
And as always, a big shout out to Tim Clark, who was a statistician for so long and helped with getting all of that info together.
Tim will text us from time to time, even though, I mean, he's not working, and he's still for the team, but he still will once in a while say, hey guys, here's just something that's interesting. And this one hit to center field. Wilkie going back, and that one's over his head. Rounding third is Souls. They're going to send him. Here's the throw, the relay, and it's way over the plate, backed up by the pitcher. Evan Souls in to score. RBI double for Juan Familia.
Already the 3rd extra base hit by Juan Familia in a Baycats uniform. It's just his 2nd game.
The third baseman, number 8, Randy Infante.
Huge hit for Familia to give the Baycats their biggest lead of the afternoon. 4-1 Barrie.
Juan Familia fits right into this team, doesn't he?
Looking good so far. Pair of doubles today, 2 for 4. Infante's been one of the hotter bats too. 0 for 3 today, reached on an error. Let's see what he can do here with a runner at second base. Takes the first pitch over for a called strike.
Infante did not like that call, thought it was too high.
Baycats looking for their 11th win of the season, 10-7 coming into this ball game. London 11-4, now 1 win behind the Whelan Jackfish, who are on top of the IBL standings. London with a huge win over Whelan last night.
Upcoming home games, by the way, for the Barrie Baycats, if you're interested in coming to Vintage Throne Stadium. Saturday, July 2nd, Brantford comes to town. That's 7 p.m. And then Thursday, July 7th, Toronto is in town to face the Baycats at 7:30 p.m.
Lewington with the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. 2-2.
That pitch was up and in, a really good one to a good hitter in Infante.
I'm looking at the month of August for Barrie and how tough that schedule is going to be, with Welland playing Barrie 3 times in the last 7 games, and they've got London once in August as well. So 4 of those 7 games against, right now, the number 1 and number 2 teams.
How many times do they face Toronto from here?
I think well, they got 3 left against Toronto.
They're
2,
a tough team.
Yeah, 2 in Toronto, and all those games are in July. They won't play Toronto again after July 27th until the playoffs. And it's ball 4. Infante to first.
Good job by Infante to rediscover that at bat.
Number 3, Carson Burns.
Burns has reached base 3 times tonight. 2 errors. And singled and scored in the 7th. I say 2 errors, he reached on a pair of errors. Looks like the pitching coach out for a chat here with reliever Bo Lewington. 7 errors in this ball game. Not sure if the Baycats have had a game this season with more errors than runs.
And normally that would have a bigger impact on the final result of the game.
You would think so. A game with 7 errors, you'd expect that to be like a 12-9 game or something.
You'd expect it to be a story, and it's really not.
Yeah.
That points to how good the pitching has been to recover from those errors by Adam Kahn and Pedro De Los Santos.
Really does. That, to me, you nailed it right there.
Thank you.
Well, we were cruising along here in a scoreless tie. Barrie got their first run in the 5th inning. London didn't score until the 6th. Called strike to Burns. Still just 1 out here in the 8th. Baycats would love to get one or two more here just to really put Brad Grievousen in a comfortable position in the ninth. Here's the pitch on the ground, over the mound. Second baseman's going to have to hurry. Off balance throw, and it's in time for the out. Two down, runners advance.
Chris Mcqueen has not had his best night defensively overall, but that was a really nice play. Judged it perfectly, took it on a hop, throwing on to first.
Second baseman number 14, Owen Janssen.
Familia at third, Infante at second. Jansen comes to the plate to try to keep the inning alive here for the Baycats.
No action in the bullpen. So I wonder, Ben, if I can speculate a little bit, if that sighting of Riley Hoover was him getting warmed up for a potential appearance tomorrow. Just getting his arm stretched out a little bit.
Yeah, quite possible. We don't know who the Baycats starter is yet.
It's been a little while since we saw Riley Hoover on the mound, so I wonder if that's a sign that it could be him starting tomorrow. I'll ask Josh Matlow after the game.
Again, that's a 2 p.m. game at Jack Couch Park tomorrow afternoon in Kitchener. Bo Lewington, 0-1 pitch on the ground, over the mound. Similar play here with the second baseman coming over and an off-balance throw, and again it's in time for the out. Almost two identical ground balls to Chris Mcqueen, and he gets the assist on both of them. So down go the Baycats. However, they score their fourth run to make it a 3-run lead. We go to the ninth. Barrie 4, London 1. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie, or revivemedspa.ca.
Inning number 9 brought to you by Mr. Lawn Care and Landscaping, servicing Simcoe County for all of your landscaping needs. Brad Grievanson back out there on the hill facing off against a tough part of the London order with a 3-run lead. Cleveland Brownlee, Robert Mullen, Starling Joseph coming up to bat and coming up to the mic for inning number 9, Ben Davey.
Thank you, Patrick Melbourne, and that's why those insurance runs are so important for the Baycats. You've got Cleveland Brownlee leading off, the IBL home run and RBI leader. Having a career year, and for someone like Cleveland, that's saying something. In for a strike is Grievanson, 1-1. Brad Grievousen coming on in relief of Adam Kahn, who pitched an absolute gem today. 95 pitches, 59 of them strikes. Finally got the hook in the 8th inning after walking Kieran Bowles. Grievanson came on, immediately induced a ground ball fielder's choice, and then 2 more quick outs to put out any potential scoring threat there.
And you look at Cleveland Brownlee's career, it's a lot like Jeff Cowan's career, where he's been able to play in this league for so long and remain effective for so long.
No chance for Infante, but fortunately the ball goes foul, and Brownlee will have to head back.
It actually reminds me a lot of Cowan's season last year, because Cleveland Brownlee having one of his best seasons in the IBL so far this year. You know what Jeff Cowan's on-base average was last season with the Baycats?
Ooh, well, let's see. He hit, what was the average? 407.
The on-base percentage, 493. He was basically getting on half the time.
I was going to say 500, but I thought, no, that's crazy.
No, it's not crazy. One more hit and it would have been 500. Something like that.
Because of all the walks.
What a player Jeff Cowan was for the Baycats for so long.
He would be on the wall of IBL legends along with this man, Cleveland Brownlee,
Yeah.
no question. If
Two great careers.
you had statues outside IBL ballparks, both of these guys would have one. Brownlee staying alive with a 2-2 count. Doesn't get any easier with Robert Mullen on deck and then Starling Joseph to follow. Tough call for Brad Grievanson here, but he's got a 3-run lead to work with. Here's the 2-2 on the ground. Burns with it. Makes the throw. Plenty of time to get Brownlee.
That was actually a well-hit ball by Cleveland Brownlee, but the bat broke on that swing, so the exit velo was a lot slower than it could have been.
And you can tell Burns knew he did not have to rush that throw at all.
Robert Mullen.
Most important just to field it cleanly, get your footing, make an accurate throw, and that's exactly what he did.
Speaking of getting on base almost half the time, Robert Mullen has a .458 batting average. But they have kept him off the bases today. A fly out to left, a ground out, and a pop up to first.
Speaking to our former colleague Dante DeCaria before the game, and he's working for the London Majors now, and he was just absolutely raving about Robert Mullen. And for good reason. .458 average coming into today's game, first in the IBL. Line to short, over the head of Carson Burns into left field.
Burns
Majors
just
get a base
jumping
runner.
a tiny bit early on that one, but it's a hard one to judge, and it's a hard thing to keep Robert Mullen off the base paths. So Starling Joseph now.
The right fielder, number 7, Starling Joseph.
4th hit for the Majors. That might be a season low total. Just guessing. Haven't seen that much. Well, here's something that I guarantee you is a season first. More errors than hits for the Majors this season. Could be 2. Not in time! First base ump. Isaac Zivchuk ruling that Malik Williams had to take the foot off the bag to stretch
I
for
think
that
he's
throw.
absolutely right. Looking at that live, it did look like the foot got up, but about as close to a game-ending double play as you can get.
Fans thought it was going to be just that. Instead, it's a fielder's choice, and it keeps the inning alive for Drew Lawrence. So the Majors with 5 errors and 4 hits. Has that happened in a game this year? Probably not. One on, 2 out. Here's the pitch. Blocked by Plumpton. 1-0 the count to Drew Lawrence. Lawrence has yet to reach base today. Be a good time for him, if you're a Majors fan, to see him keep this inning alive as the Majors are down to their final bullet here in the ninth.
By the way, for anybody scoring, you might want to look back at your scorebooks because Phil Whelan came in as a defensive replacement at first base for Gibson Kurzminski.
It was a check swing by Lawrence there, and the umpire ruling that he went, so it's a 1-1 count now. Runner leads, pitch from Grievanson on the ground. This should be the ball game. Stepping on the bag is Owen Janssen, and the Baycats win. 4-1, the final this afternoon at Vintage Throne Stadium as Barrie gets their 2nd win of 3 games against the London Majors so far this season.
What a big win, and it's not the first big win the Baycats have had over the Majors. Mentioned that one in London, but the Baycats with a great job pitching today especially. You look at Adam Kahn just doing a phenomenal job on the mounds, and they got enough runs to win it. So the Baycats go into that game tomorrow on the road with a win.
Congratulations to Kahn, who picks up his first win as a member of the Barrie Baycats and his longest appearance of the season, working 7 very strong innings for manager Josh Matlow, who has to be all smiles as his ball club knock off the defending IBL champs here this afternoon at Vintage Throne Stadium. Again, our final, Barrie 4, London 1. Patrick Melbourne and our entire Baycats TV crew, I'm Ben Davey. Good afternoon from Vintage Throne Stadium.